Nowadays, I mean, most businesses were like had a model where let's just try to make as much money as we can in the fastest possible way. So big brands like LV and all that, they'll just go like big time mass markets, sponsor all the celebrities and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas like the first actual label, like Mark said, which we kind of rocked back then, was Bathing Ape.
Yeah.
And they only produced like, 100 t-shirts. You could only buy 3 in one store in London.
Yeah.
So you had to go all the way to London.
Yeah.
And everyone would kind of give me money just to buy, so we buy like all the 3 back to Singapore, and then we discovered that it was so rare
Yeah.
that the value, well, not the real value, but the
desire to own the product.
it was so exclusive that so-called desire was something that we kind of like got hooked onto.
When he and Ash were like wearing like Bathing Ape, I was like pissed off at them. Like, hey, why didn't you buy me one? Like wow,
You didn't give us money to buy it.
So yeah. Anyway, so that was the feeling that I want my consumers to feel. I want them to feel the same way as I do.
Yeah.
So I design and craft my brand along those lines, and I research on how do I make people feel this way.
Yeah. That was the first time actually this so-called limited strategy was employed by streetwear brands. This was even before anything else was considered limited edition. I mean, anything else that kids could afford could be considered limited edition.
Yeah.
So everything was just really easily available everywhere. Yeah, so it kind of created a huge desire, right?
Yeah, huge desire.
Back in the days.
And then there was like not much websites about it.
Yeah, it was just so like, it was only like almost like a cult.
Yeah,
thing.
it was.
You knew
It was
someone
a very
who knew
cult.
someone who knew someone who had traveled to Japan.
Yeah.
And even the shops in Japan or Hong Kong, you couldn't go in the shop.
Yeah,
unless you had a membership card.
You gotta make an appointment or like.
Make an appointment to walk into the shop to buy one T-shirt, and that's all you can buy. And that's one T-shirt, and that's it.
Of course, all that doesn't work right now, lah.
Yeah, now it's different.
Now it's
back in
different.
the days, it was just like
People will say like, screw you, man. I'm gonna go move on to the next brand. But back then, there was like only like a few brands that are like that. So I sort of like derived a formula, like there is this formula like the monogram. So I created an equivalent of like the Louis Vuitton monogram, which is the texture, the vine camo thingy on the car itself. This is actually one of my customers who bought my shoes, and he drives Ferraris and like Lamborghinis and stuff, and then he decided so he decided to wrap his car in like the pattern that I did, which was actually this shoe. So
extreme fan.
Yeah, it's like an extreme of how your pattern can be applied to like different things. Because if I didn't have all those things, then I wouldn't be ready. You see, it would be like just a logo smack on the car. But yeah, you can see that there's like my logo, and then there's like the Paramount the Paramount thing over there, and then there's like a texture to wrap around the shoe, which you got like all these elements like this is like a full branding. Yeah, where you can apply to
whole
like
package,
a whole package where you can apply to like so many different products, which I didn't expect that it would be wrapped on the car. This is like some Cadillac, and I'm actually working on his Ferrari right now. Different applications, the face, very iconic. Applied on like clothes, Motorola Razr skins. Jessica Alba's boyfriend is wearing the shoe over there at an NBA game, so I think was quite cool. It could like see how you have no idea how you impact someone from across the globe, and this is like my closest ever encounter with Jessica Alba. My product, not me, but I'm very happy to see this
better
picture.
Than nothing, huh?
Yeah, better than nothing. See, I'm like right there.
It's in the same house as Jessica Alba.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes.
Yeah, kind of cool, right? And then shoes, more shoes. So I was a huge fan. I don't know if you know this brand. It's a sneaker brand in Tokyo called Kicks Tokyo. So they have this like sort of like AV model, which I was kind of like obsessed with for
back in the days.
In the period of time. So I actually pitched the project with them and said, hey, I want her to hold my shoe and like be on a t-shirt and stuff, and her in a plain white bikini, and I got to Photoshop like all the patterns in. So different applications. So after I did this shoe, which made a lot of noise, in like in my own demographic. It
Demographic.
it led to other projects like this Fabric Medicom from Japan. So it was quite cool. It's like I see this fabric displayed beside like the Chanel fabric. Yeah.
Oh,
So
sweet. Where?
yeah,
Really?
like in some shops, you know, like side by side. So it's like, oh, okay, I take that as like a good sign that I've displayed beside Chanel, and yeah, stuff like that. And back to different applications, this was me at the Nike SB launch party. So I actually wrapped. Yeah, quite funny. Different back then.
Be different, huh?
Yeah, drinking a lot. Yeah, so we wrapped the entire shop with this camo. So it creates like a very iconic impact to people who come in, and they recognize the brand. I mean, it's just like, you know, you go to Louis Vuitton and you see like, the monogram, okay, that's Louis Vuitton. So yeah, you can apply it in many ways. This was in the shop called Front Row, remember? And it's damn funny. It's like the boss of Front Row actually pitched for the Nike project for me, and then after she got that project, and she left and she opened Front Row, and then we hosted the party at Front Row. Yeah, so a lot of stories. This is the box for the shoe. Yep, that's about it. The successful qualities of a designer, it's not about design, it's not about how well designed, it's how well you communicate with like the people who will look at your design, and to be always aware and conscious and responsible for how people look at your design and you as a person that communicates with them. And design skills, I don't think there's a need to say, because you guys will learn and become good designers anyway.
I think skills are really like a tiny fraction of the
Yeah.
equation, really.
Skills
Right.
is like the smallest fraction.
Actually, yeah, it's just the end product
Yeah.
of the design.
Yeah.
Actually, what's more important than the other 99% is actually your thinking process and approach
Yeah.
to the work.
In a more technical aspect, I would say that when you do a design or like art in general, I've been talking to like artists like painters and stuff. They one thing they say is like your design has to make a lot of noise. It has to be like provocative. It has to like convey a very harsh and strong message. Like you don't want to do something. You don't want to do something that is like
Looks like everything
basic
else.
and
Yeah.
plain, and like that. You already have like in terms of clothing, you already have like American Apparel. You already have like Muji, you know, like brands like this. So like if you want to go out there and like just find your space in the market and find out where you want to stand, like find the gap that you would love and be passionate to fill. Creative block, it's like a very general term to use, and then like what I recently found out is that a very important lesson is that inspiration will never come to you.
When you need it.
Yeah, it will never come to you. You gotta go out and learn something. You gotta read information that you have never read before, or like obtain something new, and that will give you like inspiration.
Yep.
Yeah, because inspiration will never come.
Yep.
Because you already know what you know, and you already make use of what you know, so there is no possibility after that. You have already used up all the information.
Otherwise, you'll be doing stuff at the same level all the time.
Yeah, all the time. So it's very important to be constantly learning and learning and learning. Any questions? Can I have questions outside or whatever later?
I'm sure you ask a question.
Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah. If not, then that concludes my talk this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for your attention. Thank you for not twittering. Thanks.